Good evening all and welcome back to the Fergie Way. We're in Season 3, let's not forget. And there's been a bit of news. Massive news, it has to be said. There's been loads to go through. But do you remember Real Madrid relentlessly chasing Pogba? Yeah. So there we have it. Madrid's relentless pursuit finally got its way through to Pogba. For whatever reason, the lad has become disillusioned because if you look down at his negatives, it's only a minor one, it says, but he wants to join Real Madrid as they're a bigger club. Bigger club, my ass. He's at the biggest club in the world. Don't know what's going on. Needless to say, he got told, no chance, you're not going anywhere. Threw a bit of a strop, hasn't featured in the team since, won't be featuring in today's live comm against Spurs, so he's going to have to suck it up, basically. I want him to stay, but he needs to realise that if he's going to come and whinge, he's not going to get in the first team. At the moment, Gribbin's come into his position, played quite well, which we'll see in a minute based on the last few games. But all in all, now I can do about it. Now he can do about it, but he's not going. Period. And on to other news, another quite devastating blow. Sidibe, we bought, of course, at the beginning of last season, has played an absolute belter. Is classed as a world-class fullback at the moment. Done his Achilles tendon. Out for 4 months, it says 3 to 4 months there. So it does leave us somewhat short in the wing-back positions. We may have to end up visiting that in January. At the moment, I can use Fosu Mensah down at the right back if I have to, which then means that more people are going to get more game time in the middle, which means the youngsters will come in, which is not a horrifically bad thing, but losing one of my best players to a 4 or 5 month injury, it's one of them, it's a little bit bittersweet. But yeah, on the subject of injuries though, and if you remember, we got a couple of injuries in the last international break. Fuck my boots. It's happened again. No less than 5 players got injured in the internationals. Rashford, Smalling, Sanchez, Gomez, and from memory it was Memphis Depay. Now none of them got bad injuries. It was all 6, 7, 8 days. But 5 players getting injured in the international break. Sidibe had done it just before the break. So yeah, ran into 6 injuries in the space of nowhere. Just a pain in the arse, really. So as I said, of course, Gribbin did step in for the stroppy Paul Pogba, who's not featured since. Grabbed himself a couple of goals as well, and it actually got him Young Player of the Month, which is a bonus. Borthwick Jackson coming in 3rd. And then also we picked up Manager of the Month yet again. Now, that's it for the news. What we'll do now is we'll go take a quick look at the schedule before the live comm against Spurs and see what's happened in those games in between. Because if you remember, we also had a Champions League game that was really going to sort of define the group. So if you remember the last game you was here for, it was the Olympiacos game there last night. We then took a visit of West Brom to Old Trafford and we won 3-0. As you can see, Paul Pogba had an absolute screamer. Managed to get himself a hat-trick, which was aided by a penalty. Nonetheless, he did get a hat-trick. And it was at this junction after the game he immediately wanted a word, saying, look, I know Real Madrid are tracking me, I want to move to a bigger club. And this was the last time he featured for the club. He's since then not even, well, I tell a lie, he's sat on the bench in a couple of the games, but he's not come on. He's not had a single minute of football since. And he won't get a minute of football today unless any injuries occur in the live comm. But yeah, the game against West Brom, they didn't really show up. We dominated them from the beginning. And Pogba destroyed them on his own, which is one of the reasons I want to keep him. He did say to me, which was quite funny, he was going to cause a mutiny, which basically meant he's going to go back to the dressing room, get all the other players on his side and basically force me to let him go from the club. No one backed him. I had no unrest in the dressing room. So, well done, Pogs. So after the West Brom game, we then took a trip down to the Midlands ourselves to play Aston Villa, who have just come back up into the Premier League. And yeah, Callum Gribbin started in Pogba's position, grabbed himself 2 goals. Not only that, he was just always on the ball, finished with a 9.3 rating. As you can see, the squad played quite well in general. We had a couple of 9s, Romagnola getting an assist in there as well. Martial scoring, but once again, Zlatan sort of drawing a blank. He's still raising question marks, but time will tell. Villa, they tried, but there really wasn't anything they could give us. Then the third and final game did come in the Champions League, and winning this game would see us qualify from the group, and we did it in fashion, managing to score 7 goals. Mata getting himself a hat-trick, Twinzabi actually getting 2 goals, which was nice to see from a defender, and Memphis grabbing a couple of goals as well. All in all, a very dominant game. Warsaw didn't get a shot on target. We just we just berated them from the very, very beginning of the game. As you can see, he played a lot of the youngsters. I also brought Smalling back into the squad after his injury. He's been playing a few more games now, so he's getting there. Alaba played his first start as well, I believe. But yeah, all in all, good game, 7-0. And that was the 3 games that we've had since yesterday's episode. So, of course, we do today have the visit of Tottenham to Old Trafford. We are going to be without Paul Pogba, and Tottenham are the team who pushed us most of last year. And I say pushed us very lightly. They were the closest team to us in the league. So today could be an interesting game because I'm not going to give in and play Pogba. He'll be on the bench. If I need him, he'll be there. But he's not going to be starting the game. So it'll be interesting to see whether that has any effect against one of the Premiership's stronger clubs. I said Premiership. Suppose it's not Premiership anymore. Premier League? I don't know. I'm old school. Let's get to the live comm. So as we head into game day then, the press and the bookies are backing United. However, they are saying it's going to be quite tight and we're only just going to nick this one against Spurs. When you're bearing in mind we're playing at home, it's, The interesting thing is, check down the bottom of the screen there. Pogba. Key man. Not today he won't be. And their key man being Del Alli, who I must admit I do like a bit of Del Alli. I tried to buy him myself. But dealing with Daniel Levy's like dealing with the devil. So as we move into the team selection then, as you can see we've got De Gea in net. With Alaba, Bailly, Romagnoli and Darmian. We have Gribben filling Paul Pogba's position. Neves and Sanchez. We then have Juan Mata, who's a little bit tired, it has to be said. Sitting behind Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Memphis Depay. For Spurs, they have Lloris, Danny Rose, Wimmer Vertonghen and Alderweireld. They then have Del Alli and Deer, along with Eriksen, Firmino, Lamela and Kane. Tottenham's team not changing that much over the past season, and they did play quite well last year, so today could be an interesting game. What are you saying, Scary Eyes? What we're going to do today? Lots of hard tackling. Well done, Roy. Well done, son. So he's giving it a bit of Alderweireld. We don't normally see Roy targeting defenders, so we'll leave him to it. However, who's he left out? Lamela definitely wants hard tackling. And Eriksen as well. No, we'll leave it. We'll trust you, Roy. We have to. And as we head into the team talk now, we are assertively going to tell the guys to pick up where they left off last time out. And as you can see, we've got a little bit of tiring here. We've got Neves on 92 and we've got Mata on 92. So we'll have to keep our eye on that as we get into the game. As I say, Pogba's sat on the bench. He's still got good morale. It actually dropped to abysmal after our meeting and it quickly came back up. But I wanted to make a point of not playing for a minimum of 3 games, and this is the 3rd one. That was just something I set myself as the manager. I thought, well, he's missing the next 3 games, period. So I don't want to have to bring him on. I will use other options if I can, and I think to save face or cut my nose off to spite my face, I think I'd rather lose than bring him on. So it's 7 minutes into the game before we get the first highlight worth a mention. It's Alaba now to Gribben, Gribben to Memphis. Memphis with a strike from distance. Lloris pushes it round the post and Juan Mata will take the corner. As he whips it in, it's been cleared out, but only as far as Ibrahimovic ended up offside. Probably just a little bit slow to get back into position, but hey ho. It's Sanchez on the ball now. To Mata. Ibra plays it forward. Memphis somehow gets on the end of it. Lloris saves it again. It's a very even game at the minute. 55-45 in possession, and they've had a couple of shots. We've had 4. Certainly could be Spurs giving us a game today. It's Neves on the edge of the area to Gribben. Ibra, Memphis, that was great play. No goal at the end of it though, as it comes to Neves on the edge of the area again to Mata. Memphis again. I think he's had 4 shots in like 5 minutes. Good to see though. I want to see him pushing. It's Alaba now. Neves down to Sanchez. Sanchez to Ibra. Ibra plays it out to Alaba, who will cross. Sanchez on the edge of the area. Oh. Tame shot by Sanchez standards. Does have a cracking shot from distance, but not in that instance. Mata standing over a free kick. As he whips it in, he does try to get Romagnoli, but misses. It's Neves now. Mata. Romagnoli still up the field. Get back the way, son. It's Gribben. Romagnoli again on the edge of the area. Sanchez to Ibra. To Gribben. Gribben loses the ball though, and very nearly a counter-attack by Tottenham, but we have picked it back up. It's Neves now. Gribben goes marching in, forces another save from Lloris. We've had 9 shots and 8 on target. Get in there, that's what you want to see. It's Eriksen now. Here we go, Mata on the counter-attack. Can he beat 1? He does beat 1, he beats 2, and he takes a shot from distance. It does go over the bar, unfortunately for us. Kane's very isolated up top at the moment. Tottenham trying to play it to him, but they're not really getting anywhere. However, we are on the ball. It's Memphis now to Neves. Gribbin to Memphis. Memphis, it's 1-0. Assisted by Gribbin, the lad who's in place for Pogba, and he's been doing it ever so well. Gribbin has been amazing since I brought him up. It's Memphis there, as we can see. Gribbin with a lovely little ball. It has to be said, Memphis timed his run perfectly. Slots the ball past Lloris, who's been dominant in goal today. But it's 1-0 and we are 30 minutes into the game. Again, what really could have been quite a tricky fixture, but at the moment, we're on the good side of it. I'm just going to tell the lads to concentrate because we are only 1 goal up. And I don't want to give Tottenham that chance because I'm guessing he'll probably be able to take it. I have just completely missed a highlight. However, the ball's in Lloris's hands, so it can't have been that great. It's Lamela now. Ooh, Lamela took down in the area. I thought we might have been conceding a penalty there, but it wasn't the case. We are going to counter though via Ibra. It's Mata out on the edge, plays it back to Alaba. Ends up all the way back at the halfway line. It's Romagnoli now. Sanchez to Ibra. Ibra to Mata. Gribbin, get in there, that's it. This is why Pogba has to watch what he's doing, otherwise he will be straight out the club. As you can see, Mata plays it to Gribbin, who's already assisted 1 goal himself, beats 1 man, then beats Lloris, it's 2-0, and if you're looking for a young English midfielder in your save, if you can get him out of the clutches of Manchester United, I'm telling you, you will have a class player, no matter what. So we've headed into half-time, 2 goals to the good, Gribbin being the architect, assisting 1, scoring another. So we're assertively going to tell the guys that we're pretty happy and we want them to keep it up. And I also just want to pick out Gribbin and say, you know what, very happy with how he's doing today. Push him on out into the second half. And yeah, as I said, I wanted to drop Pogba for 3 games. If Gribbin carries this on, he'll keep his place until he has not so much of a good game. Then I'll let Pogba back into the team. But for now, I can't see bringing him out of it. I really can't. Tottenham have started making changes to try and get something out of it. Ibra's had the ball took off him by Danny Rose and does release Kane. He doesn't though. Romagnoli more than enough to get the ball away from Kane. And we'll maybe start building from the back here. It's Memphis now. Sanchez to Memphis. Memphis off the inside of the post. Unlucky Memphis. He's already scored himself 1 goal. As I say, I've got this little striking issue at the moment. It's Gribbin. Gribbin forces a corner from the other side of the pitch. Mata makes his way over. Mata whips it in. It's to Bailly. Gribbin. Oh! Gribbin nearly grabbing himself another one. Bailly nodded it down. But yeah, 55 minutes on now. And I'm just looking and I'm thinking, Zlatan's playing a 6.9. Those around him are playing much better. Neves on a 6.9. So what we'll do is we're going to bring on Mensah. Give Neves a rest because he was a bit tired when he started the game. We'll also look at bringing on Rashford. Yeah, we'll bring on Rashford for Zlatan. Mata's tired as well. So I've got Mata tired and I've got Alaba tired. What I'll do is I'll just give it another 5 or 10 minutes. See who's a little bit more worn out and then I'll bring on a player in place. I do have Angel Gomez, I think, on the bench from memory. And yeah, we'll see. So it's Rashford now. Just got on the ball, having come on the pitch. Sanchez to Gribbin. Mata. Rashford forcing a save from Lloris. 2 goals to the good, 20 minutes to go. Have we done enough as Mata whips it in? Memphis on the edge of the area to Mensah. Fosu Mensah down to Gribbin. Gribbin tries beating 1 again. He does. He'll get the cross in, but it gets cleared by Wimmer. So the 77th minute, there is a highlight going on. But looking at it, Alaba's going to be the man to come off. We'll bring on Borthwick Jackson. There we go. Pogba doesn't get a sight on this game, which is what I set out to do. It's a corner now with Juan Mata. Mata, it's a poor corner. Wimmer's picks it up on the edges. Couldn't do nothing with it other than clear it towards the defenders. And with 10 minutes to go, we've got another corner. There we go. It's Sanchez. Sanchez on the edge of the area. Oh, bad ball. And Tottenham may get some sort of counter-attack. Here's Darmian. Charges in on Keita. He stood no chance. And it's Rashford now. If it's Memphis to Mata. Offside. He did wonder offside. I wondered what Memphis would do. Didn't give him chance to come back. But nonetheless, 5 minutes left. Firmino. Dembele. Lamela forces a save from David De Gea. I think 4 shots, 4 on target by Tottenham. It's showing they've been relatively clinical. They've kept them on target. But that is that. They're not getting anything from that corner now. It's De Gea to Borthwick Jackson. Bailly. Back to De Gea. I knew that was going to happen. It's Del Alli now. Firmino. Lamela down the right. In towards Dembele. It's Keita. Darmian's got him in his pocket. Whips the ball off him. Memphis has got the ball now. Memphis to Rashford. Rashford beats one and he puts it left of the post. However, 3 minutes left on the clock. I would say the 3 points are ours. And considering I'm pretty sure Spurs are second in the league at the moment. Memphis! It's gone in. There we go. Memphis grabs himself his second goal of the game. It's 3-0. Definitely game over now. A great ball by Rashford to see Memphis' run. Look at all that space he had. I don't think he was ever going to miss this. Near post. Lloris stood no chance. It's 3-0. And there we go then. Full time. 3-0. So what we're going to do is it was a solid win, so we're going to say well done. It was a good win for us. If we take a look around, we've got Callum Gribbin here playing a 9.1. Very happy with his performance today. And who else has played well? Memphis, of course, with a 9.1. And I'll also say Eric Bailly. Very happy with him. And although Darmian only played a 7.8, I was well impressed with what he was doing on his side of the pitch, so he did well out there. And jobs are good. So I could now go and take a look at the league, etc. But I'm not going to, and there's a reason. Next episode, we're going to come back for the Juventus game. Not only are we going to come back for the Juventus game, but I'm actually going to play my weakest possible team. I'm going to play youngsters where I can fit them. The striking position's always going to have decent players because I'm still not decided on who's weaker and who's stronger. But I'm going to play the youngsters where I can to give them a shot in Europe. Now, we have qualified. And it's still a top of the table tie, you know, who's going to go through as the group leader, as it were. But in Europe, I want to face the big boys anyway. I don't mind who I get, whether I get someone weak or whether I get someone poor. But I just think it'll be quite good for the youngsters, having already qualified, to get a game against Juventus under their belt. Pogba won't feature, as much as I love to play players against their old clubs, but he's certainly going to miss this one out as well. So on that note, today's episode is over, and I would like to say thank you for coming along. If you've enjoyed the episode, look for the like button, give me a big thumbs up. It takes nothing but a second or two. If you're new around here, don't forget the sub button, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's episode, where of course we head to Turin to take on Juventus. I've been Teach FM, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.